guys, how y'all doing? Hope everything is well. Everything is good with me. Y'all, okay. The other day I had spoke about Cabana, the police commissioner, right? I didn't know. I know him and his brother look alike. Like they look identical twins. Like for real, they look identical. And come to find out, that's his twin, right? At first they didn't say it was his twin, but it is his twin. So now Cabana, he resigned. He had to resign, and they're looking into his two brothers. Yeah, his two brothers. The one that looked like a twin. It was allegedly, y'all, that he was getting some assignments. You know that Caban, Edward Caban, Edward was supposed to do. Like he's the commissioner. So when they talk to Edward Caban, they're talking to him because he is the police commissioner. But they were saying like sometimes his brother would stand in. And that's crazy. That they are so I don't know if they're identical or not, but I put their two pictures together and I was like, which one is the commissioner? I really couldn't make it out. Like I could not tell which one was the commissioner. So I don't know if they was swapping, they was doing like, some type of bull where, if I'm not here, you step in. You can't do that. You're a twin in the whole nine, but you cannot do that. Saying besides other things that they said, that whispers are going around that, it's kickbacks and all this other extra stuff, So they said Adam, they asked Adam, about Edward's Cabana resignation, and he danced around it and was like, well, it is what it is. He's not saying like he for it, and he's not saying he's against it, but I just feel that whole panel between Adam all the way down, something is going on. You understand? Something is clearly going on. You got the what is he? He's for the schools. Yeah. He goes with the lady that's on they all a mess. That's why they took all their cell phones. Like it's a let me tell you something. First of all, FBI is not coming to you like that. It had to be something, and they had to have some type of proof to take your cell phones and come for you. And for Cabana to resign. You understand? Because I know me myself, like if I know I ain't did nothing, I'm not gonna resign. They're gonna have to be like well, I can't even think of his name. I can't think of his name. The crazy guy. They had to actually drag out. But this whole panel is a mess. It's a mess. And I don't know, they took Adam's cell phone too. And I think something weird is going on. I think something is slick. Because we just now, well, me myself, I'm just now finding out that Adam and I guess Hochul is giving the migrants $4,000 to leave the shelter and get an apartment. You understand? And that's not fair because we have people that was in the shelter for many years and he have never, ever offered them $4,000 to go get an apartment. And my thing is this here. They offered them $4,000. Yeah, they took the $4,000. I bet you on everything. They can say what they want to say. They can take that money and run and come right back in the shelter again. They can. They can. Because they don't know all the migrants. I don't care. They can use all kinds of names. You don't even know their real names and stuff like that. I just think it's crazy. I'd be damned if I, like, you got to understand, like, he doesn't have a tally on these people. He don't. That's why so much is going on. He does not know who they are. And you're giving them $4,000 to get an apartment. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So what are you doing? You're giving them the money before they get the apartment? Or, because I don't know how easy it is to go out here to get an apartment for $4,000, for $4,000, the way New York rent is. You understand what I'm saying? And not even that, how is they going to pay next month's rent and the next month rent and the next month rent? I'm not understanding that when they don't have a job. You understand what I'm saying? If they don't, he said he only giving it to women with children and pregnant women. But I'm not understanding that. You know, we have our own people in the shelter, and he never once said, let me give you $4,000 to go to get out the shelter because it's costing us so much money. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never did that. He never, ever did that. And this here, what he's doing, I think is totally wrong. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong what he's doing. I mean, Eric really did not stand up for our city at all. To me, Eric did not stand up for our city because he could have said more, he could have done more, and he's not doing it. And all of this here corruption going on, you know, it ain't a good look. It ain't a good look for New York. You know what I'm saying? It is not a good look for New York. And I'm very, very shocked that, you know, I'm just now hearing, and I follow the migrant cases and stuff like that, for them to be giving them $4,000. You understand? $4,000 when they're not even they're not working. How they gonna pay the next month rent? There's no cheap rent in New York. I know that for a fact. No, they're not. Where you gonna live at? Where? So how in the hell is they gonna pay next month rent? They're gonna wind up right back in the shelter. What you gonna do? Give them another $4,000 again? This is all bull. What Adam did here and Hochul did to New York is a crying shame. I can't even wrap my head around this, what's going on here. I can't wrap my head. I really can't. I cannot wrap my head around this. It's just so sad. But they're under investigation. Every last one of them, the whole panel. Caban, Edward is gone. His twin brother, they're looking into him. His other brother, one that had the restaurant, is closed now. They're looking into him. They got everybody. They got that whole panel. When you see all of them sitting on that panel, they got every last one of their phones. So something that they're not telling us right now, because nobody has been charged yet. The FBI just don't come in like that. But anyway, y'all, Edward Caban is no longer the NYPD commissioner. I don't know who is going to be next, but the first, remember, I can't think of her name, the first lady, the first black lady, the commissioner, and she left abruptly. This just popped off. Because she already knew. She already knew Adam do too much. She was like, you know what? I need to do my job. I need to do my job. But she couldn't do her job because Adam was like, it was something between her and Adam, like, didn't rub her right. You know what I'm saying? She was like, you know what? I'm out. You know, I'm not going to be part of this. That's why she resigned. There's no way in hell she was only there for a couple of months. Like, she was like, yo, I can't do this. Because every time she was ready to talk, Adam was right there, like, you know, talking for her. And she's like, yo, dude, I got a voice. I have a voice. I am the commissioner. She was the commissioner, and he wouldn't let her do her job. But anyway, y'all, this is all a hot damn mess, y'all. But anyway, hit that like button and subscribe. I'm going to go, and like I said, New York City Police Department Commissioner Edward Caban has resigned. So we're going to see who's going to be next, okay, in line. And the investigation just goes on. Yep, that's it. All right, y'all. Peace.
Cooperstein, and we are interrupting programming now with breaking news involving NYPD Commissioner Edward Caban. He has been out of public view ever since the FBI seized his phones amid an ongoing federal investigation, and now Caban is resigning from the department and the top job with the NYPD. News Force Chief Investigative Reporter Jonathan Dietz broke the news during our 11 a.m. newscast, and he joins us now in the newsroom with the latest developments. John?
Adam, all morning, the NYPD and City Hall were making plans for Edward Caban's expected resignation, and that resignation has now come. He has sent an email out across the NYPD announcing his resignation. We've obtained a copy of that resignation, and we will read to you in part what it says. He wrote, "The news around recent developments has created a distraction for our department, and I am unwilling to let attention be on anything other than our important work or the safety of the men and women of the NYPD. I hold immense respect and gratitude for the brave officers who serve this department, and the NYPD deserves someone who can solely focus on protecting and serving New York City, which is why, for the good of this city and this department, I have made the difficult decision to resign as police commissioner. Ed Caban resigning as the top cop amid an ongoing federal criminal investigation into the NYPD and separate federal criminal investigations into City Hall and fundraising around Mayor Adams' campaign. No one has been charged criminally in those investigations, but in just the last week, the FBI and investigators with the Southern District, the IRS, the city's Department of Investigation have been very active in handing out subpoenas and executing search warrants, even seizing the phones of top NYPD officials, including the police commissioner, as well as the phones of top aides to Mayor Adams at City Hall. So the major news this morning is that NYPD Commissioner Ed Caban, who has served more than 30 years in the NYPD, working his way up as a beat cop in the Bronx to the highest ranks of the NYPD as police commissioner. He's been police commissioner for about a year. Ed Caban sending out an email around 11:45 this morning to members of the NYPD announcing that he has made the difficult decision to resign as police commissioner. Adam?
This means that Caban's replacement will be the third NYPD commissioner in Mayor Adams' first 3 years in office. And Edward Caban's rise to power, as Jonathan mentioned, took more than 30 years through the NYPD, but this fall from grace took just a matter of days in what appears to be a corruption investigation involving his twin. News 4's Chris Glorioso has a closer look now at Caban's career, and he joins us live. Chris?
Well, Caban's tenure as commissioner has not been long, but his appointment was historic. Now his legacy and how it's viewed will no doubt be influenced by what we learn about this federal investigation, at least in the short term. The questions prompted by this apparent corruption probe appear too much for Caban to overcome. Long before he was sworn in as the NYPD's first Hispanic commissioner, Edward Caban was a South Bronx beat cop who grew up in a law enforcement family. 3 of his brothers, including his twin, have also served in the city's police force. And Caban's father was an NYPD transit detective who, just last year, toured the subways with his newly promoted son.
What do you think about the subway systems now?
Caban took over the nation's largest police force after the surprise resignation of Commissioner Keechant Sewell, who left One Police Plaza amid rumors of frustration with alleged micromanaging from City Hall. Rumors Mayor Adams denied.
She made the decision that she wanted to do something else, and I respect that.
And so Adams, a former transit cop himself, replaced the first female NYPD commissioner with the first Latin American one.
I'm proud to appoint Edward Caban to be the next police commissioner of the New York City Police Department.
During his short tenure atop the NYPD, Caban prioritized cracking down on subway crime, illegal scooters, and quality of life violations. One of his most dramatic moments when Columbia University summoned city cops to clear pro-Palestinian protesters from a massive outdoor encampment and from inside Columbia's Hamilton Hall.
But the NYPD and the people of the city of New York will never be locked out.
During Caban's first 12 months, crime stats improved with murders down, fewer people shot, more guns seized.
That means our crime fighting is more focused, is more effective, and is making our city safer.
But his leadership was also criticized by city council members who said he too often failed to punish cops accused of misconduct. Last month, the interim chair of the Civilian Complaint Review Board resigned after she publicly criticized the NYPD's disciplinary process.
I don't think anything in life is guaranteed. I would say this, when I chose Eddie, I chose him for his experience.
After the FBI's seizure of Caban's phone, the phone of his twin brother James, and devices carried by other NYPD officials, calls for the commissioner's resignation got louder. By the first week of September, even the New York Post editorial board, which often backs City Hall, called on Mayor Adams to oust his top cop. Then more details of the federal investigations emerged. Questions about possible corruption and favoritism in the nightlife industry dominated the City Hall press corps. Before announcing he had COVID, Mayor Adams peppered with questions. Did he still support his commissioner?
Are you firing him? Is he resigning?
After announcing he had COVID, Mayor Adams peppered with questions. Did he still support his commissioner?
Whatever new changes in administration that will be made when they come about, we will announce them.
In recent comments, Mayor Adams has avoided statements explicitly supporting his commissioner, but when asked directly, he has not confirmed whether he has lost confidence in Caban. What we hear and what we do not hear in the mayor's expected news briefing today may give us a better understanding of whether he is in lockstep with his commissioner's decision amid all of these investigations. Adam, back to you.
Okay, yeah, still waiting to hear from the mayor. We'll bring that to you when it happens. Chris, thank you. How City Hall is reacting. Government Affairs reporter Melissa Russo live in the newsroom with a look at that. Melissa?
Well, Adam, City Hall has been pretty quiet about this publicly. I'm told they are preparing some sort of announcement for this afternoon, as you heard previously. Mayor Adams is second police commissioner, the city's top cop, handpicked by this mayor. It's important to note that these two have a close relationship. He is leaving this position after just over a year under a cloud of controversy. The departure comes just over a week after those federal investigators seized the commissioner's phones along with the phones of other senior Adams administration officials. And as you heard Chris mention, even Commissioner Caban's brother James, who sources say is under investigation for possibly accepting payoffs in exchange for police department favors. Publicly, Mayor Adams has resisted pressure until now, at least, to ask Caban to step aside. He has said that he is unfamiliar with these allegations. He has said that the commissioner has not been charged with a crime. But I am also told by 3 sources familiar with the discussions internally that Mayor Adams' former chief of staff, very close ally, and his current campaign chairman, Frank Carone, helped to broker Police Commissioner Caban's departure with Mayor Adams' blessing, in part because while Caban has not been officially accused of anything, it's difficult to lead the NYPD and work alongside the FBI under such a cloud. Caban's resignation could relieve some of the political pressure on Mayor Adams right now, who we know faces re-election next year, and who we know is also under separate investigation, or at least had his cell phone seized last November in one of several ongoing probes into his campaign fundraising, possible foreign donations, and more recently, questions about some potential conflicts and outside business dealings with his administration. Sources familiar with City Hall's plans are telling me that the mayor is now considering a former federal law enforcement official to replace Caban. At that announcement, we are told, Adam, could come as early as this afternoon. And once again, Mayor Adams had told us that he was unfamiliar with the charges, or not charges, there are no charges, but with any of the questions, the scenario that investigators were looking into. He had previously said that the commissioner had not been accused of anything, and therefore he had sort of resisted calling on him to resign. But today, we are told with the mayor's blessing, that arrangement was made, and Caban did indeed submit his resignation letter today at police headquarters.